Okay, great. Um, Maybe this is a good place to talk about um, what actually happens in the regulatory environment. People have, kind of this view, this very binary thing occurs, either a Trump or Harris administration. But what really happens mechanically when one administration takes over? What type of changes can we see, and how long will these type of things take?
I'll jump in on the elephant in the room, the SEC. I don't think people realize necessarily how this all works. The SEC has five commissioners who are appointed by the president with the advice and consent of the Senate, and they're actually appointed to 5-year terms, and they're staggered so that one commissioner's term ends on June 5th of every year. And we actually saw Commissioner Crenshaw's term end in June. They can continue to serve up to 18 months after their terms expire if they're not replaced. So, Crenshaw may be around for 18 months. And there's a balance in terms of the parties of either, kind of the makeup of the commission. If Trump wins, I've heard a lot of chatter on crypto Twitter that, Gensler's out the next day. That's actually not necessarily true. Um, Chair Gensler was appointed in 2021. He has just under 2 years left in his term before he's renominated or replaced. So he actually will still have 17 months left on his tenure if Trump takes office. Now, what traditionally happens in that situation is that a SEC chair from a different party would resign when a new president is elected. Obviously, the SEC has taken a lot of different actions that are unpredictable. So we can't necessarily rely on the fact that the SEC chair is going to resign if there's a Trump election or a Trump win. I would say he most likely is, judging from historic precedent. Whether or not Trump could remove Chair Gensler immediately, that's actually completely unclear because the Constitution doesn't expressly grant the president this power, and nor does the securities laws. So, point is, that's probably more information than anyone needed. If Trump wins, he will likely move to replace the SEC chair. I am not necessarily saying that that's going to be a get out of jail free for all of crypto and there's going to be a ticker tape parade, because we cannot necessarily rely on the fact that Trump would appoint an SEC chair who is entirely positive towards crypto. Many people might remember that when Chair Gensler was nominated, a lot of people were cautiously optimistic that he would be very pro crypto given his
Yep.
extensive experience as an academic. So as much vetting as the presidential administration can do to various stakeholders, they don't get to control. They're not puppeteers behind regulators. Regulators have a degree of independence to develop their own mandate to a certain extent.